Hi. I'm Brittany Ruiz. I am in the Carrollton area, and Carrollton, Dallas, depending on necessarily. I want to talk about improving public education. I was fortunate in my school to have a transitional counselor in my actual school, but I know in the other high schools it's very few. And I wanted to talk about the transition from high school into college. I graduated. I will be a freshman this fall at community college. I don't transition well, so did community college because I know that about myself. I really want to talk about just more transition counselors and more help in high schools. I feel that's one area that is lacking. I feel that, if you're really severe in your disability, there's more stuff out there, and where you're more visible is a little bit more easier than the learning disabilities. I am dyslexic. I was diagnosed in the 3rd grade. I did the Scottish Rite Hospital. I did 2 years of that. It helped a lot and improved. So now I just fall underneath the reading disability because I've compensated so much and learned. The only thing is that if you don't, with DARS, you have to qualify, where I've improved so much that I fall in between where I need help, but I don't have the services for help. So I fall in between where I have to figure out I don't have modifications in college because I don't fall underneath what state of Texas says, but I know personally, and I know a lot of other children still need help, but that isn't available because there's only a standard way of testing that, and there's those people that fall in between, so they get left behind and they kind of fall behind. I'm fortunate though, because I personally have a lot of people that are behind me, but there's a lot of people in this room that are probably going to fall in between those cracks, like Ruiz, Gutierrez, and April, where they are kind of those people that are higher functioning, but there's going to be a little bit more harder for them where their service is available for the people. So I really want to talk about the transition and the transitional counselors, because those are so needed in high schools, just for more helping to understand and get those services and having people informed about what's out there. So that's what I want to talk about. Any questions?
What thing you want to pursue after college?
After college, I am between 2 things. Either I want to do special education, or I want to be a cop. So they're completely opposite in directions. Yes, they're completely opposite. So I'm in between. Yeah.
Teaching and police is
Police, yeah, no, yeah, Cheryl said, well, there could be a happy medium. I could teach being a police officer. So it's like...
Or you could be in the right high school and be special.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Any more questions?
Any questions?
Yeah.
I can't see you.
Hi there.
What's up?
Not a whole lot. So while you're in university, you don't qualify for you can't use their, I don't know what they call it, Southwestern.
No.
Whatever they.
Center for Academic
So, yeah, you can't use your academic success services or whatever the euphemism is of the day. So what do you end up doing to compensate to make sure that, you said that transition periods are hard, and transition periods are hard for pretty much I don't know anybody who's yeah, let's go change everything all the time. Right? But so what do you anticipate doing, seeing as how you're just about to start? What do you anticipate doing to stay on top of things?
Okay, the reason why this program is so wonderful is because I've learned so many things that I can do. Just talking with the Cheryl in the group, that I've learned what kind of things I can use. Like talking to the mic where it reads, when you're talking into the mic, the computer reads what you're saying and it puts it on the screen. Well, that's really helpful because I didn't know about that until this program. There's so many programs that I learned that I could use that I didn't know before this program existed, and that I really feel. So that's one program that I've been testing out since I've been with the program, with this YLF, so that's what I've been. And just my guidance counselor was awesome, I don't think everyone gets a great guidance counselor, and there are very few in the high schools, so she kind of has shown me what kind of things I can use, and I've also kept in touch with a lot of people through YLF to figure out what I need for college, because I fall between. Any other questions? I was hoping you were going to ask me a question.
I'm actually glad you're up here to talk to me, because this is sort of the question I think I asked to April.
Mhm.
April, right? I asked to April, and I think you kind of addressed it pretty well here. And this is something I think that's a real issue. I won't pretend for a second that at the state we get anything right, really. But I would put DARS not real high on the list of things we do well, provide services and things like that. I think there's a lot of things we could do better for sure. But I think this is an important, the kind of area you're talking about specifically, I think is something that's really underserved. It's sort of, like I say, for maybe people that are perhaps more high functioning, people that don't have, I guess, an obvious disability. This is something that's, I know, is being kind of debated about what level.
What do you fall under?
Exactly, and sort of at what level are we going to choose to help people? So I think it's good that you're out here and you're coming to things like this, and that you're aware of it, because I think a lot of people maybe in your position would say, well, it's just I'm doing well enough or something, and I can just not bother with it. I think it's something, again, that you should keep on doing if you're going to be coming up here and advocating for greater accessibility of services. What kind of services? I'm just curious. What
do you
if
want
you were
me
to get something?
What I get in school?
In school and college, what would you?
In my file, I have extended time, and I get a little bit more testing time for everyone else. For the tax for my junior year, I got. Okay, I'm dyslexic, so I can't read. But let me explain. I had to read my reading part, but my math and my history were read to me.
Okay.
Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I don't
That
understand.
seems
Because they're testing their.
They're testing my reading, but I'm allowed to have my other two read. But
Yeah.
But I did fantastic on those. I got commended, so
Okay.
it's above average. But I mean, but for y'all's information that are representing here, in the last, I think, was it a couple of years ago, because I was in high school, the qualifications to get into the special ed department actually got tightened. So the only reason I was allowed to stay in was because I got grandfathered in, because I was already in the system. So they said that if I was just getting into school like other kids were, I would have not been able to get the services I would have gotten for me. If I would have been younger, if I would have been born later, I would have not gotten the same services I would have when I actually got into school. And that makes me really sad, because I don't know I don't know if I would have graduated, would have made it to high school.
Sure.
What kind of systems would have been in place for me. And that really scares me, because what are those kids doing that don't have that in place anymore?
Well, like I said, I know you. This is the last one, and I think
I know.
you did a great job. Just like everybody's done a great job. And what's sad, I think this is something that's certainly maybe not as well known, but really not as well known about as some of the other issues with disability services. So I think it's something you should keep pursuing as much as you can. I know you're going to be busy, either shooting people or
Teaching people.
or some combination therein. But I think if you can,
But
I know the
both
point
are
of
books to
this is to be an
serve
advocate.
people.
So.
I mean, both are to
Right,
service
yeah.
people. I mean, giving that.
Absolutely.
Either way.
So, I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
I want to thank you, and I want to thank the 5 legislative officers who made it 2 hours and 15 minutes. Thank you all.
What was that about a quick year? Norma Aguirre, we mentioned her name, but we didn't give her time to make it up to the,
Oh, I'm
get up
sorry.
to the deal.
Okay.
And so can we let her
Yes,
go?
I'm sorry.
And
I
then
messed up.
before,